Welcome. Peace and blessings to you. Welcome to this week's episode of What's on Melody's Mind today. I'm Melody, and I'm here to talk about all types of good stuff. First, before we get into it, the book of the week, just so I don't forget. It doesn't say it. Oh my goodness. Not every single one. This is the hard copy. Can you read it? Okay, I can read it in my computer. It says The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. Oh my goodness. This book right here. Let me tell you about this book. This is my second favorite book in the whole entire world. Yes. First is the Bible. This this is biblically based, and almost every single book I read is biblically based, but this book right here, it tells you what God has you here on earth for. Well, it helps you reveal why you are here, because we all have a purpose. We weren't just born just to exist. We might as well have been drones if that's all it was. No, this helps you understand and discover why God put you here on earth. I have read this book 3 times already. Yes, 3 times. I don't know why that's my lucky number. Maybe it's because I was born on April 3rd. But I read this book. I remember the very first time when I was a whore. Yeah, I walked into one of my tricks' house. Yeah, and I saw it in the bookshelf. I can't help it. I'm nosy. I'm nosy. You let me in your house, I'm investigating everything. And I saw it, The Purpose Driven Life. And he had several books in his bookshelf, but this one spoke out to me. And he told me his sister lent it to him. And I was just like, well, what's that all about? And he allowed me to borrow it. Yeah, I really gave it back. I really gave it back. And yeah, I read a book about God while I was running around being a whore. Who would have thunk it? But it definitely opened up my eyes somewhat, because I was still stuck on stupid. But I remember years later, like a whole decade later, when I decided to fully dedicate my life to God. I don't know how that title came across. It popped in my head. Like God told me to, yeah, it had to be in the Holy Ghost. He told me to read it again. So I reread it and I was just like, I know why I'm here now. Thank you, Lord. I know why I'm here now. And why did I read it again this year? Because I wanted my husband to read it. It's as simple as that. It is a 40-day book. What do I mean by a 40-day book? It's a book where you just read a chapter a day. I absolutely love books that you read only a chapter a day, because then I don't feel like they're forcing me to hurry up and read it. I will read a book in 2 days, but sometimes I'm like, I just don't. Because I will 6, 8 hours just, and I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished, even though I just absorbed all that knowledge. I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished because I just devoted my whole entire day, 2 days in a row, to a book. But this book, I absolutely love it. I told you it's biblical based. It will tell you, it will reveal to you why God made you, why you're here, what is your purpose. It's called The Purpose Driven Life for a reason. What's your purpose for existing? You don't know why you're here? Read that book. It'll let you know. Okay. Somebody commented on my hair, talking about, I love your hair. I hope it's not fake. And what bothered me about that statement is like, didn't we go to school together? My hair, this is not even half the length it was when I was in school. I used to sit on my hair when I was in school. This is only 3 years worth of growth, because 3 years ago I had dreads and I cut them all off. So this is just 3 years, less than 3 years, because I did get some little tapers in the back. Because, oh yeah, my Holly Berry fade. I rocked that every 3 years since I was 17. But all right, I just had to mention that because he wanted to know if my hair was real. Yes, my hair is real. Only thing real and that's not real on me is my eyelashes, but I can't help it. I love them. I love them. I can't help it. I got an eyelash fetish. So, pimps and whores. Yes, I said pimps and whores. We're here to talk about, what did I say? Today, we're talking about my cross country whore tour. Yeah, not world. Cross country whore tour. Yes. So, last week I talked about Romeo. Yeah. So, when I paid Romeo to go away, bye, Romeo. Yeah, you in the game technically you have to have another pimp serve your pimp his papers. And I wasn't choosing up again. Like, no, never again. That was just not me. Pimping was not my thing. I did not want to pimp in my life. But I thank him. I truly thank him for getting me out of the bed and giving me a reason to get up. Even if it wasn't a good reason, it was still a reason to get out the bed every day. Okay, so thank you, Romeo, for that. So a few weeks later, after keep on getting arrested in Las Vegas, and I know some people were like, well, how could you just be naive to get keep on getting arrested in Las Vegas? There are no entrapment laws. I don't know what the rule is today, but back when I was out there are no entrapment laws. So yeah, cops just basically set you up and you look like a whore. Oh, now you're arrested for whoring. So I remember getting out of jail again for it seemed like the millionth time. It was like a 2 month period. I was going back to jail for every 2 weeks. Really seemed like every fortnight I was going back to jail. Fortnight means 2 weeks in Irish terms, just in case you didn't know. So I get out of jail, and I remember being at home, not at home, but at my hotel. That hotel doesn't even exist anymore. Lamplighter, something like that. But either way, neither here or there. But I was at the hotel and I was watching the weather report, and it said it was going to be 50 degrees in Las Vegas, and I was just, I don't, I don't like 50 degrees. I don't like anything under 78 degrees. I really don't. I have a blanket on me right now, and it's 75 degrees in here. But I saw on the weather report it said it was going to be 51 degrees in Las Vegas, and I was just like, it's cold. I was literally wearing two pair of leggings with my dresses on, had boots that came up to my knee, and I was putting them hand warmers, yeah, hot hands in my leggings to keep warm, and that's not legit with me. And I saw it say it was going to be 83 degrees in Miami, and I was just like, I'm going to Miami. I lost custody of my kids. I got rid of my pimp. I had no real reason to be anywhere. So I'm like, I'm going to Miami. Miami. Yeah. So I hopped a flight to Miami. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. When you have nothing to hold you down, you just get up and go. So I hopped a flight to Miami. And I remember, and it's funny because I grew up in California, but it's been so long since I've been to the ocean. The moment I got off the plane and out of the airport in Miami, and like, it smells like fish. Yeah, Miami smells like fish. Like, that was my first thought. And it's going to always be a thought in my head. Miami smells like fish. And so I don't even know how no. I end up calling a pimp that I knew. Yeah, because I knew pimps. I didn't work with all of them, but I knew pimps. They thought I was cool. Even though that was a whore, they all tried to bag me, but they thought I was cool. So they gave me information and I used it. Like, so I end up calling a pimp. Like, the moment I get off the plane, and I'm like, where do I need to go? And he told me of a cheap hotel, because this is back before I was used to smartphoning and Googling and finding things, hotels.coms. I wasn't hip yet. Not yet. So I found a hotel like $60. Yeah, great. $60 hotel in Miami. And I was working, I don't even know what we want to call it, but Ocean Drive. Yeah, Ocean Drive Slim. I was working Ocean Drive area. I forget the name of the streets, but I was basically working South Beach. And yeah, it's doable. It's doable. But I just came from the track life, and I was so addicted to doing the track. It was just so much quicker and so much easier that I was like, I need the track. So I remember maybe a week or two later, I called that same pimp and I was like, where is the track out here? Because I know there's a track. I remember Romeo telling me all about a track out here. I wasn't calling Romeo, I was calling a whole nother pimp. And he told me the only reason why he was letting me know is because I was nice enough to smoke my weed with him when he didn't have any horse. He didn't. He lost all of his whores, and I was still nice enough to smoke weed with him. That's why we had a cool relationship, because he wasn't trying to get at me, and I wasn't like, oh, you're a pimp, get away. I was just like, you want to smoke weed? I got some weed. I just want to chop it up with somebody. I hate being alone all the time, but you ain't gonna bag me. But you're not trying to bag me, so all right, let's just smoke. So yeah. So basically, me being nice is what allowed him to be nice to me. Yeah, so niceness works sometimes. Like, so he told me where the track was. It is not technically in Miami. It's in a whole nother city called Coral Gables. It is Southwest Miami, Southwest 8th Street. I don't know why I'm telling you guys. Please, if you are a whore, do not listen. Just run from the game now. But so I go to Southwest 8th Street in Coral Gables. Oh my goodness. I have never seen anything like this ever before in my life. Like, there are just so many whores walking up and down the street, like they're standing on the, no, they're walking. They're walking. I had a whole little loop. I knew, yeah. And I love the fact that there's a Walgreens on the track. Why? Because every once in a while, when the police are trying to harass you, or a pimp's trying to harass you, or it's just cold, because it even gets cold in Miami sometimes. If it's 60 degrees, wind's blowing, it's cold. Sometimes you just want to rest. You want to rest, and you can't just stand still and be soliciting and just loitering and stuff like that. So I would go into Walgreens because they're open 24/7, and I would just be in Walgreens. But so yeah, I found the track, and like I said, this is nothing like I have ever seen in my life. It was not like this out there in Vegas. I was basically a Vegas whore. I'd been in Albuquerque, and I hated Albuquerque, New Mexico. Just hated. I hated whoring there. I recently was out there like a couple months ago, door dashing. It wasn't bad. It was just not good for me to whore. Like, and I've been in California and I got arrested. I was living in California whoring for less than a week and I was arrested out there. So no, I did not want to be in California. But so I am out here in Southwest 8. Yeah, because it's SW and 8. That's the name. It's Southwest 8th Street. Like, so why am I giving y'all that information? Do not use this information. You do not want to go there. But I'm out there and they have hotels specifically for whoring. You can't tell me these hotels aren't specifically for whoring because they're hourly rates. You can rent a hotel for an hour for like $35. Yeah, yeah. That is all track life. Yeah. So I'm out there and I'm banging and I'm banging and I'm banging. I am making plenty of bank. Just left to right on Southwest 8. You want to know the funniest thing I saw on Southwest 8? It was one time where I was actually, before I discovered Southwest 8, when I was still doing South Beach, which is technically across the bridge. I saw a midget whore. Yes, I mean, she was a little pint-sized midget. She was a midget, seriously. I saw a midget hooker, and I thought it was just so funny. I really did like a triple date with her. Well, yeah, it was me, my John, and two of his homies, and one other regular size whore, the little midget whore. We were all in this one room together. I know, it was so funny. And the craziest thing is, when I was on Biscayne, yeah, cause me listening to Drake and Lil Wayne, they kept on mentioning Biscayne. So I found Biscayne. I found out where Drake lived. He lives at 888 Biscayne. I don't know if he still lives there, but I remember listening to all of the songs, and he said he got him a condominium on Biscayne, and there is only one complex on Biscayne. It's 888 Biscayne, and Flow Rider, he lives there. Cause yeah, I saw him on New Year's Eve. Yeah. I've met so many celebrities, seen so many celebrities. I've met Mario, however you want to say his name. He's extremely tall. I met him in Miami as well. Didn't even know it was him until hours later, and I was just like, that was him. That was him. Like, but okay, so these hooker hotels, yeah, they're hooker hotels because they don't even like you to rent them for a night. They really, yeah, hotels do not want to be rented out for a night. They're 38, 25, $40 for the hour or 2 hours. I think it was just only an hour because they wanted to turn over and get more hookers for the next night. And so I'm staying out in Miami and I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing out in Miami. I'm having a good old time. I end up with my baby daddy. This baby daddy number two, because technically I have three, but I don't like to call the last one my baby daddy because I married him. So and I married him before I got pregnant. So he wasn't my baby daddy. He was just my I like to call him my dead husband because he ain't my ex husband. He's dead, and I'm currently married. Yeah, this one, my husband got me a ring that says "In God We Trust." That's him. But so yeah, I'm out there with my baby daddy number two, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm blowing up. We got us a rental. We living good. He eating good. We eating good. I'm getting new clothes every day. I know, stupid stuff, stupid materialistic things. And we are staying in some of the nicest hotels there are. Really, really the Intercontinental. We stayed on that hotel, and I remember looking out from my hotel window, and I saw dolphins. Yeah, yeah, that's not how dolphins sound like, but you understand. So we're doing our thug dizzle out there and everything. We're having a grand old time. And apparently, I don't remember what name I was going by at that point in time, but I'm going to tell you how I ended up changing my name. Yeah, because you know, hookers and that we don't use our real names. Like hookers and strippers don't. We all have a stage name. We all have an alias. So I was working out there and I gave my number out because just in case you want to see me again. And this guy, he wants to see me again. And I remember he gave me the money when I get to the hotel room. Everything cool like it was the day before. And he's just doing mad cocaine. Oh yeah, cocaine is running rampant in Miami. If you don't know, now you know. So many tricks had cocaine in Miami. I got high off of cocaine long before I ever wanted to get high off of cocaine because these crazy tricks would rub it on their member, on their male member, and while the condom was on, and then put it inside of me. Why are you trying to numb my insides? I don't understand what their thought process was, but I'm just like, whatever, whatever. I love drugs. I was going through depression, so go ahead and get me high. I don't think it ever really got me high. Maybe it made you less annoying to me. So this guy, he's doing lines after lines after lines after lines, and I don't know what flip switched in his head, but he jumps on top of me. Yeah, jumps on top of me and thinks he's going. Ain't nobody going. You thought you was gonna rape me while I'm awake? No, be nice enough and knock me out like everybody else. So yeah, he jumps on me and tries. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I fought him. I fought him. I fought him, and I remember running out of that hotel and calling my baby daddy at the same time. And he hears, and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running and I'm hiding in the woods because there's woods, there's trees. Well, not technically woods, but there's trees everywhere in Coral Gables. It's a very beautiful place. I saw manatees out there. But so I'm running and I'm calling my baby daddy, and of course he wasn't far by because what's the point of me paying for this rental? You're supposed to stay somewhat by. So he shows up. He shows up and he gets me and he takes me back to the hotel, and I'm in the hotel and I'm in the shower washing off the mace. Oh yeah, I moved my hair for a reason. And I was like, man, I lost some earrings. It doesn't show up on camera, or does it? I have all these holes in my ear. Like I have 6 holes in this ear and I have 5 holes in that ear. And I was like, I lost this earring and I lost that earring and I lost that earring. He was like, how'd you lose your earrings? I was like, because I fought the fool. And he just looked at me. He was like, damn, you one tough cookie. I am. I am. Because try to fight me, I'm going to fight you back. I don't know why I didn't necessarily fight all the men who abuse me. Oh, because I love them. But if I don't love you, oh, yeah, you hit me, you try. I'm gonna knock you out. I fight like a man too. Like, so yeah, I fought him. And I maced him too. I hate macing people because you end up inhaling it. And I just rather fight you. Like, so baby daddy told me I was one tough cookie. So I changed my name to Cookie. Yeah. So for a while, for several months on end, my name was Cookie on the streets. Yeah. TC in the house. All right. So I'm that didn't stop me. That was just one incident. So we are out there in Miami for a while. And it wasn't until this black officer, this black female officer, she made it her duty to harass me. Oh yeah, she came by every several days and would just blatantly harass me. I remember she told me if she saw me out there on that track again, she was going to take me to where the trannies work and drop me off there. And she's like, "Oh yeah, they don't like your kind. They're gonna." So I don't know. We get it through our head. Let's go. Let's go to Orlando. So I make it to Orlando because I'm in Florida. Why not go somewhere else? So I go to Orlando. And Orlando, now this track was more like Las Vegas. This track had it all day, night, and all day and all night, and all day and all night. That's one thing I didn't like about Southwest 8. It was only nighttime. Once the sun came up, time to go home. Like, I'm from Las Vegas. I'm used to, well, not from Las Vegas. I've been used to working in Las Vegas. I worked any time of day or night. I didn't want to just work nights. Sometimes I like being in the sun. Things. So now I am in Orlando. And man, let me tell you about Orlando. I used to make bank in Orlando. Yes, indeedy. I remember one day I made $1,350 in Orlando just doing track dates in a quickness. It was like in 12 hours, which is good. That's great money. That's great money. It really is. Because it's not like, oh, I was working consistently. No, you have to walk until you get to your next date and whatever. And I had these shorts. I had these Lacoste white booty shorts that when I wore them, oh my goodness, the money would just fall into my lap. All I had to do was wear those shorts. I started wearing those shorts almost all the time to where I remember hearing two girls hating on me tight. Stop wearing those shorts. We can't make any money when you're wearing them. Yeah, yeah. I did it. I did it. They hated on me everywhere I went because I came in and when I rolled into town, I got all the dough. Didn't matter where I was. So I was out in Orlando doing my thing until what I told you. I told you the serial killer. Watch episode 1. I'm not about to go get all into details about when the serial killer. I'm hearing birds. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? he's reincarnated through the birds. No. So the serial killer, me and my sister called John Coffey, tried to kill me on May 12th out there. And after that, I was just like, I gotta get out of here. Like, they trying to kill me out here. They was trying to kill me. They was trying to kill me in Orlando. Like, seriously. They tried to kill me in Atlanta. They tried to kill. Yeah, how did I miss Atlanta? How did I'm hearing noises in the background and like my ears are just like tuned to it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't recall every single detail because this is a while ago. So the timeline's not in order. I'm like the Bible. I'm not in order, but it's all good. Like, so yeah, after they tried to kill me in Orlando, I'm like, I'm out of Orlando. I took I took a Greyhound to Ohio of all places. Like, why? Why Ohio? Like, why did I go back to Ohio? Oh, I don't know. I hadn't been to Ohio in forever. I hadn't been. I'm seriously trying to think. Like, what possessed me to go back to Ohio? Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is I ended up in Ohio, and so I was forced to work in Cleveland. I didn't want to work in Cleveland. I mean, we had money. we had money, so it was like we just sit here for a minute and think. I don't know why. What happened to my baby daddy? I know what happened. Yeah, this is why I ended up back in Ohio because when I was in Atlanta, because yeah, we went from Miami. We went from Miami to Atlanta. We went from Miami to Atlanta, and when we were in Atlanta, my baby daddy got arrested. And after his arrest, I ended up back down in Miami. I was out in Orlando for a minute. I ended up back in Miami, and then I left Miami and went back to Orlando. I went to Orlando. That's how it happened. Yes, yes. Baby daddy's in jail. I'm in Orlando. I go to Ohio because he was extradited. Oh, I said it right. He was extradited to Cleveland. No, Columbus. So yeah, Columbus. So I'm in Ohio, and so I start working in Ohio. Yeah, I start working in Ohio to be close to baby daddy, and then because I was working on Backpage. I was working on Backpage. I was working 161. I forget the name of it. It's Grand something in Columbus. Y'all don't need to know the streets. If y'all going out there looking for hookers or trying to be a hooker, don't. So I don't need to tell you the street names. But I'm out in Columbus, and he has a friend. Yeah, because he wasn't related, and so he trusted his friend, and his friend drove me to Atlantic City. I love Atlantic City. I've never been there before, but I go out to Atlantic City because I paid attention to what these pimps told me. They told me where to go. So I go to Atlantic City, and oh my goodness, it's somewhat like Las Vegas, but it's not like Las Vegas because they don't have a day track, but they have casinos. And but Backpage wasn't jumping out there. And I don't know if Backpage was ever jumping for me out. No, it never jumped for me in Las Vegas. I never even really tried it. Like, no, why? Why? There's money everywhere. I don't need to wait for it to come to me. I went to it. Yeah. So I'm out in Atlantic City. And I remember the first night it was just like I only made 250. But it's because I was more or less we got there late and I'm trying to explore. I have to explore and get my bearings together before I could go do my thug fizzle. Every night, every town I go on and I'm expected to walk outside, it is not more or less a night where I was banking. It was a night where I was trying to figure out what everything is. So I'm out there in Atlantic City and it gets popping. I mean, I am making bank in Atlantic City. I'm making bank. I mean, like 7, 8, 9, $1,000 a night. I'm making bank. I was having a great time in Atlantic City, yeah. And it was only nighttime. So I mean, I could sleep and watch TV and smoke weed during the day because that's what I love to do. I only like to work 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, yeah, 10 hours a night because that's how night, yeah. Night's not that long. Whatever I make at night, I'm good. I'm good. So I was out there and I was doing a good I was having fun. I was having fun. I made some friends. Yeah, I made some friends. There was this one little girl named Jenna. I forget what her hooker name was, but I remember I hooked up with this white dude. I'm walking down the street. Yeah. I'm walking down the street and this one white dude and his 5 white friends, they picked me. And y'all see this complexion right here? I don't know how I managed to be this tan because this is a tan. Because can y'all see? You see my tan line? I'm really white. I am really naturally white. I'm half white. My mother's white. My daddy's black. I am really pale faced. I'm pale. I don't know where I stay out the sun, so I don't know where this. I can't get lighter for some reason. But I was that light when I was out there, and I wore a blonde wig. I wore a blonde wig, so people really thought I was just a white girl with a big booty. That's what they all called me. Like seriously, most people until they got up on me. And so I'm with this white dude and his 5 white friends, and I'm taking them all to my hotel because I'm like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to get it. I'm about to get all that money. Yeah, I wasn't scared. Yeah, at this point in time, I don't have nothing to lose. What I didn't fear anything. That's just not me. So I'm walking all these white dudes to my hotel because I'm about to get all their money. And some stupid one of them's like, we need one other girl. We don't all need one girl. We need one other girl. So somehow we end up fighting Jenna. We hook up with her, and me and her clicked. Like, we talked that whole language. Like, we had them secret IQs on how to get more money out of this one and how to get, yeah, we was trying to, yeah, yeah. So we end up exchanging numbers. And now, anytime she had a trick that needed and that she needed another girl, she called me, and vice versa. I remember one time we were really trying to rob somebody together. Yeah, hoes rob tricks. Get over it. And yeah, we end up having a good relationship. Like, but her pimp was incarcerated at the time. So that's great. Your pimp can't try to get me, and my so-called pimp baby daddy, he was incarcerated too. So we was just two whole freelancing out there. We was staying in pocket because we weren't talking to any other pimps, but we had somebody to talk to. Yay! So that's always good to always have somebody on your team. Like, so I end up going back to Ohio because my baby daddy went to a arraignment court date, something. He had a court date and he wanted moral support. He wanted me to show up. So I show up to see baby daddy. Yeah, I take a Greyhound all the way from Atlantic City to Columbus, Ohio to show up for court. Okay, that's just how good of a woman I was. And so afterwards, I ended up going back to Atlantic City because I loved it there. I really did. I really did. I really did. There's one little place that had this bomb salad and bread. Like, I crave that bread all the time. If I ever go back, I'm going looking for that restaurant because I want their bread. I know of all things, I want to eat some bread. Because I've been a vegetarian for like almost forever, it seems like. I'll eat meat with maybe once a month, but I'm a bread fanatic. That sweets aren't my thing. I like bread. Carbs are my friends. Even though they don't like my thighs, I love me some carbs. Like, so I go back to Atlantic City. And me and Jenna end up hooking up again that same night. I don't even know how it happened. Just like I'm walking, hey, girlfriend. Like, so we end up hooking up and whatever. And we both get arrested. These there are not entrapment laws for whores as far as I'm concerned because we never said anything. I know what not to say. I'm not boo boo the fool. I know I've been doing this for some years. I know what not to say. Okay, so we end up incarcerated together. Oh yeah, oh yeah. In Atlantic City, they're not like Las Vegas where you just go 48-hour holding and then processing you out. Oh no, they was trying to hold me for 30 days. And Jenna, because she lived there, that's where she's from. She knew a trick where she called and he was gonna get her out. I told this girl my social security number. I gave her access to where go get my money. Go get my money because I had a certain amount of money in my hotel. I'm like, yeah, go get my money. Da 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 da. Da. I don't even know how I told her to get into my hotel, but she got into my hotel. Praise God, because she went to my hotel, she got my money, and came and bailed me out. Ain't that something awesome? Like, not all whores are bad. Like I said, here goes because I was nice to her, she's nice to me. Yes, yes, we made money together, and she came and got me out. Praise God for that. Like, and so I think no, so seriously, I have a bad issue. I have a bad issue. I remember somebody telling me saying, "Who told you that when it's time to go to court, you just disappear from that city?" My parents. Yeah, I got warrants all across this country, and I praise God they all non-extraditable because I went to the original court date and they told me I would do this. I'm not doing all that. No. I gave y'all $1,000. I gave them $1,000 to get out of jail. And you want me to go do community service and give you another $1,000 and go do this sex education program? I'm not gonna do it. So when it was time for me to go to court again, I just left that same day. Yeah, I just left that same day. And praise God, I did. I know I keep on saying praise God because I have to. Praise God, I did because I think that day or the next day, a hurricane came through. I think it was Hurricane Ida. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember exactly the name of the hurricane because I wasn't there. But I was just so glad I got out right before the hurricane because I remember Gina telling me her house got flooded, her car got flooded, everything just went to ish. So yeah, that was me and my crazy. I got it. I'll run from the law. I ain't about to sit here and give y'all. I gave you $1,000 to get out. Why I got to give you another $1,000? Right. So I left and I went back to what's that? Ohio. Yeah. I went to back to Ohio, and then baby daddy. Yeah. Eventually, we get baby daddy out of jail. I'm not gonna tell you what he was there in jail for because it's none of your business. Like this story's about me, not him. So we get him out of jail, and we're like, where to next? Where did we go to next? We ended up everywhere. We ended up everywhere. We ended up in South Carolina. Why? I don't know. I don't. He knew somebody in South Carolina. He wanted to go see somebody in South Carolina. I remember. I remember. We went to Savannah, Georgia. Yes, Savannah, Georgia is supposed to be like one of the most haunted cities in the United States. I didn't get to enjoy any of those things because baby daddy just I don't know. He told me I used to pick some of the corniest activities thinking I was just saying those because I didn't want to do anything with them. No, I wanted to go on a haunted boat ride with the dinner and the show and stuff like that. Like, but no, I remember being in um Savannah. And so yeah, I was doing Backpage. I was doing Backpage there. Yeah, strictly Backpage. You don't know what Backpage is? Oh well, it's like Craigslist, but it was really bopping. So um, one guy was coming to the room, so baby daddy leaves, and yeah, because I used to have two beds in the room, one for working in and one to sleep in. Yeah, because that's how I got down. I ain't renting two rooms, just rent a room with two beds. So baby daddy leaves and trick or treat comes in. Just gonna call him because he thought he was gonna trick me. I treated him to something. So he gets into the room and he sits down. He takes the chair and puts it by the door and sits down and puts a gun in his lap like that was supposed to scare me. You dummy, when I walked towards the door, you didn't pull me. I opened up the door and walked out the door and said, you better get out my room before I call my peoples. You didn't point the gun at me. I don't, even if you did, it ain't gonna scare me. I literally, when I was in Miami one time, I was no Orlando. I was doing a car date. So seriously, car date. Why not do a car date? Why waste our money on a hotel? Less money you spend on a hotel, more money you can spend on me. So yeah, let's just go park somewhere. Yeah, it goes down like this all the time. Let's go park behind somewhere and let's just get it on in the car. This mofo, I knew something was up from like 2 seconds after we get in the car. Um, this mofo, we in the car and we're doing the date and he's taking forever. And my whole patience only goes so long. And I'm like, can you hurry up? Like, you didn't pay me top dollar. You paid me a discount. Yeah, because occasionally we gave discounts because we just trying to make some money up, yo. So I'm like, just hurry up. And he was like, well, I can't finish. I can't finish. I can't finish. You can't finish because you don't want to finish. I ain't boo boo the fool. I wasn't new to this. I was true to this. And he's going to say, well, just give me my money back. You put yourself inside of me. You think you get your money back just because you didn't finish? No. No. This fool pulls out a gun, puts it at my head, and says, well, I'm just going to shoot you. And I looked at him and said, well, just shoot me then. Yeah. Yeah. I told you I ain't had no fear. I told him, just shoot me then. And apparently I stunned him. He was stuck on stupid. I said, just shoot me then. That's how he was. I punched him dead in the face. He dropped the gun. I'm wrestling with him. I'm fighting with him. I jump out the car. I run to the hotel room. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. Yeah. But anyways, Same with dude in Savannah. Pull out a gun on me. Y'all ain't about to go to jail for shooting some whore because you wanted some free pussy. Like, no, That's one thing my baby daddy told me, because I was telling him about people threatening me all the time. He said, they're not, come on, they're just trying to use scare tactics on you. That was one of the best pep talks he ever gave me, because yeah, they weren't, other than two, they weren't trying to kill me. They weren't trying to kill me. Two were, yeah, two were. So yeah, we were in Savannah, and I loved it. It's a beautiful place. You should go to Savannah. I want to go back just to see all the cool stuff I never got to see. I remember going to Chattanooga, Tennessee, because I needed my marriage license. Because remember, I was married at a point in time. I needed a copy of my marriage license because I lost my ID. I didn't lose my ID. Somebody stole my stuff. Baby daddy used to keep it to where I didn't get enough rest. In his mind, if I went night night and I woke up to go pee, he wouldn't let me go back to sleep. He would tell me I should just pee on myself, because once he saw me up, he thought it was time for me to be up. So I used to be exhausted out there on the track. And one time, the little white trick, I remember, if I ever saw him, I'd slap him in his face. Still to this day. He went to the restroom to clean himself, and I lay down in the bed and I fell asleep, and he stole my wallet. I know, but I never kept all my money on me. So anybody who ever tried to rob me, you was never getting anything but what you just gave me. Cause I ain't boo boo the fool. Not at all. Not at all. That is one good thing I loved about Netspin and Green Dot. Every single time I did a date, I would go right to Walgreens and load my card. So I put my money in my bank. You can't rob me if I don't have anything on me. So haha. But yeah, I remember we was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Beautiful, beautiful place. Nothing bad happened there. No. I did Backpage and I walked the streets. It was beautiful. It wasn't really much money I made walking the streets, but I did Backpage. I did Backpage, and it was good out there. And I remember, because we were literally just going from city to city, cities to city, like, what state next? Like, why not? Why not? I didn't have no children. I didn't have no house. I didn't have no real destination. So we just went everywhere. So we went to Nashville, Tennessee. I was not welcome in Nashville, Tennessee. So seriously, I was not welcome in Nashville, Tennessee. I remember I posted on Backpage, Nashville, Tennessee, night one, and nothing. Nobody's ringing. They're all watching the game. I forget what game they were watching, but I remember baby daddy's watching the game. I don't hear no phone ringing and everything. So he tells me, just go for a walk. Go walk down the street and see what it do. Because why not? The way I look, even if it's not really a track, I'm going to attract some attention. So I walk down the street and I attract the wrong attention. Woo! Yep. The boys run down on me. It was some lady officer and some male officer. They weren't mean, but they were informative. They told me I was not welcome in that city, and they knew I was a whore because they pulled me up on Backpage and showed me my post. I was like, yeah, yeah. So I walked back to the hotel after they let me go. They kindly let me go because they didn't catch me doing anything other than walking down the street. Praise God, they were nice, because in California, no. You're walking down the street and you got more than 3 condoms on you, you're a hooker in that state. Don't ever do it. So I go back to the hotel and tell baby daddy, oh yeah, we was out of there the very next morning. Check out, we checked out. So I made it to Houston. Yeah, I went to Houston too. It wasn't really prosperitable. Is that how you prosperous? There we go. We're just gonna use that word. It wasn't really prosperous because I think it was just too many people were there, because I was only there for the wrong week, All-Star week, and it was just too many people there. So too many other hookers were there, and no. So we ended up in Where's that place? Where they got Mardi Gras at? Someplace in Louisiana. It's in Louisiana. Isn't it Baton Rouge? No. Wherever they got Mardi Gras at. I can't remember off the top of my head. I did not write notes. I did not pre-rehearse this. I'm trying to get this done before my husband comes back from walking the girls. Because once he's here, he talks. He changed his whole schedule, and now instead of him coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning, he's coming home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And now I'm missing half of my day because once he's here, everything drops. I'm happy, 1 week out the month, he is so nice to me that he just said he'll walk the girls for me. Because I was just like, I don't want to go for a walk. Can you just walk them for me? And he did. Okay. So we're in Mardi Gras, wherever that city is. You figure it out. I'm going to remember it as soon as I log off. I know I am. So we're in Mardi Gras, and it was prosperous down there. Yeah, I made some good money. I made some good money. Yeah, I was only there for like 2 days. 2 days, because I was like, it's my grandma's birthday, and I want to go see my grandma on her birthday. So we literally drove from there to Elyria in that day, and I was just like, no, I'm seeing my grandmommy. I wanted to see my grandmommy. It was her birthday. I got there and be like, hi, grandma. She was like, what's my present? Girl, I am your present. I just made it all the way across country to come see you. Better be happy. Yeah, I was 29 years old because a month later I turned 30. I remember that. And I ended up working in Cleveland. I hate knowing I worked in Cleveland because I ended up living in Cleveland. I told him I never wanted to work in Northeast Ohio because that's where I was raised. But he forced me to work in Northeast Ohio. And I end up, some of my Johns I went to high school with. Yeah, and it really bothered me because these were some of the guys that when we were in high school, they used to try to get me, and I said, never, never in your wildest dreams. And now that they're paying for it, now I'm giving it up to them. Hated it, hated it. Just mean, just mean, just. That's one reason why I can't stand being out. I didn't like going out in Cleveland because I would just really look at people like, you look familiar. Did we date? And I don't mean you take me out to dinner and a movie. I mean you paid me some money and I gave you some. Like, yeah. So, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. We ended up getting a spot down in Columbus. Yeah, we ended up getting a spot down in Columbus because that's where his parents stayed. Not necessarily in that city, but I'm not going to tell you the name of the city, but it was definitely by there. So we finally made it out of Cleveland. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm running people I know. And I don't want them to see me. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. So I ended up moving to Columbus, got a 4-bedroom house, got a Benz. Yeah, I'm doing big pimping, spending G's. Yes. And I stayed there until I told you that man beat me up. This scar right here, this big one, that one right there, I had staples in my face. No, they were stitches. They were stitches because I remember removing them myself because they told me to come back a week later to get them out. I'm not going back so you can cut stitches out my face. I could take them out my face myself. Like, I'm a G. Mm-mm. So yeah, I ended up staying out there until he beat me up, gave me a concussion, everything. Never hit anybody in their neck. If you gonna hit somebody, don't hit them in your neck. It hurt. It hurt to swallow. Like, I remember after that concussion, anytime I smoke weed and watch basketball. I told you I smoke weed. That's the least of the drugs I did. Anytime I smoke weed and watch basketball, I would get severe migraines and I couldn't even see the ball. Like, I try to watch it. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Did I go cross eyed? And it would hurt. It would hurt like, for like 3 months anytime I try to watch basketball because I'm a sports fan. It would mess me up. So eventually, because, he beat me up, I ended up staying out with my sister for about a month. It didn't work out because me and my sister are not meant to stay under the same roof. I love her. She loves me. We don't like each other, but we love each other. She called me the other day. That's my dog. You mess with me, she's there. She got my back. You mess with her, you better run. Yeah, I'll shoot you. I will shoot you. You don't mess with my little sister. Don't nobody hurt my sister. Simple as that. And y'all know who my sister is. We are not the ones. Mm-mm. So I ended up back in Columbus and I stayed for about 30 days. And I remember my mom was like, "It's my 50th birthday. I just want my children to come see me for my 50th birthday." So I came and saw her. And so now I'm out there in California. And I was trying to be a good little girl in California. I'm just chilling with my mommy. I haven't seen her in a couple years. And this crazy woman tells me, she's like, "Well, you can do your dates. You could do your dates out here. Just have them pick you up at the corner." I told you my mother used to be a hooker for 18 years. So yeah, she encouraged me to get to back to hooking. So I got back to hooking. Barstow, California is not the city to be a hooker. And we're back. I know I left. You guys didn't leave, but my husband came home and I told you when he's home. So I had to take a pause and wait for him to go night night so I can finish my video. So, yes, I went to Barstow, California, and Barstow is just like the worst place to whore ever, ever, as far as I'm concerned. So, after about a week or so being there, I had to kick some money and go to Victorville. I've never been to Victorville before a day in my life other than the doctor's appointment or paying the gas bill or power bill or whatever. Some business. I was only there for traditional business before when I lived out in Barstow because I lived out in Barstow before. That's when I was in my early 20s. That's where I met my husband. It was in Barstow, California. And so we left. Yeah, my husband was with me at the point in time, right? Weird. One day I might just do an episode on how I met my husband. I know you see a kitty in the mirror. I mean, not in. He was just, and he went behind the curtain. He's so cute. He's so tiny. I found him 3 weeks ago. He's awesome. So we go to Victorville, and I'm there for like a week or so. I don't know, just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, for a short period of time. And I was just having issues with the hotels. I just didn't, it just wasn't banging in Victorville. So I made it to Hesperia, which is the town right next door. And I was doing mighty good in Hesperia for about a month or two. Then all of a sudden, one day, the police knocked on my hotel door. Okay, okay. And oddly enough, they knew exactly what I was doing in the hotel because I'd been there for like 2 months just straight banging out. And what that is the longest I've ever stayed in one hotel. And it was a tiny little hotel. It was Motel 6, like, so it was obvious what I was doing. So yeah, they came to the door and they told me they knew what I was doing. They showed me where I was at on Backpage and everything. And they didn't want to arrest me because they couldn't really arrest me because they didn't catch me in the act. But they wanted me to collaborate with them of all things and tell them, like, point out the pimps because the whores aren't the targets, the pimps are, because they traffic women, they make women do what they're doing. Not all of them do, but a lot of them do. So they wanted me to give them the hook up on the pimps. Of course, I agreed to do it, so they leave, and a week later, I leave. Because when the police know where I'm at, I'm gone. I'm gone. I remember one police officer asked me one time what was my address, and I said, "What's the point of me telling you? Because I'm just gonna move tomorrow. If I tell you where I live today, I'm moving tomorrow. Like that's one reason why I stayed in hotels. So you keep tabs on me. You're not allowed to know where I live. Like I don't. My dad used to tell me, don't let the man know where you don't let him know your business. So no, I was gone. So I left Hesperia and I went to Ontario, California. I don't know how I ended up there. I ended up there and not it, not it, not it. In Ontario, California, that's where I was walking down the street on Holt. Backpage was not doing it for me. It was not doing it for me. I was just and the track wasn't really successful either. I was just not getting it. It was just, and that is where on October 18th Yeah, that's a special date for me. October 18th of 2014. Yeah, we just celebrated the 7 year anniversary. I end up getting arrested. The cops, I'm literally walking down the street on my way to public storage because something kept on telling me I was about to lose everything I own. So I'm like, well, let me go put my stuff in storage so I can prevent myself from losing everything I own. In the midst of me walking to the public storage, Officer Leffner, yeah, you just can't forget some officers' names when they definitely change your life around. So Officer Leffner pulled me over, claimed that I was, hi, to the tricks. Like, come on, bro, I've been in this for years. I'm like I said, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Like, why would I just be waving down the street all flamboyantly to tricks, causing unnecessary attention to myself? Oh my goodness, there was just some weird noise. I don't know. I got two dogs and a cat and a husband. Some weird noise. And there's Amber Alerts going off on my phone. Praise God for Vibrate. Yeah. So yeah, he said I was just hi. Yeah. Do I sound like Boo Boo the Fool? Like, come on, check my record. Check my record. And Officer Jordan, woo, second cop showed up. I don't know why. Why? It's one little person. Why do you feel like, oh, that cop has her pulled over? I need to come join the party. I'm good one on one. Now, Officer Jordan comes and he's harassing me. Yeah, he's just harassing me. He's just being rude and snide and everything. Like, And he's getting attitudes with me. Me and Officer Leffner, we were cool. But Officer Jordan, with his brown little chocolate self, was just being mean to me. He was just being mean. So yeah, when they decided they were gonna arrest me for a warrant I have in Atlantic City, I told you I leave. I leave. You tell me it's time to go to court, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I break out in handcuffs every time I go to court. I'm not going. Fool me one time. So yeah, um, they tell me they're arresting me, and they put handcuffs on me, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the Holy Ghost because of the things that happened afterwards. But something, I heard something in my head said, kick him. And I'm like, kick him? Like, no, I can't do that. And he's like, kick him. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. And then I heard it for a third time. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm handcuffed. And I kicked him. I kicked him. I don't know what I wasn't thinking. This voice in my head just kept on telling me to kick him. So I kicked him. And I don't know what happened, but I think Officer Leffner, that's the go-to move. I don't know why that's people go-to moves to try to put me in a headlock. And I told you I've been in several abusive relationships before. So my husband, he used to try to put me in a headlock too. Oh yeah, I bet my husband, my dead husband, and I left. I mean, I bet hard to where even when he died, he still had it looked like a gorilla. I left an imprint on him. So yeah, when Officer Leffner went to put me in the headlock, I'm quick. I'm quick because this ain't my first rodeo. I fight. I bit him and I took his flesh off. I took his flesh off. It was so funny because when they finally, yeah, and I'm so cute. I'm so cute. I have a scar. You can't see it, but I have a scar right there. You can't see it. You can't. It's not showing up on camera. But yeah, so when they finally detained me, the two of them, even though I'm in handcuffs, just fighting with face and feet. So they finally get me back into the car and everything after I bit his flesh off and made him bleed. Yeah, it was scary. He was like, I remember they asked me, "Do you have any communicable disease?" That is not how you say that word. Communicable diseases. And I was like, "Yeah, I have every single which one there is." Y'all messing with me, I'm messing with you too. So he had to take the whole weekend off to go get tested because he was just scared ishless. Like, yeah, some whore, some dirty whore, because that's what they wanted to label me as. Some dirty whore just bit him and just took his arm off because I ain't the one. All I had was my teeth and my feet to defend myself. So yeah, But when they finally get me in the car and everything, I remember I slipped the handcuffs off. That's why I'm saying I had a scar. I had a scar right there because I slipped him off because I have issues. I don't like to be detained. So yeah, I took the handcuffs off, and what it was is because I knew from the previous time of me being arrested in California is they rob you. They rob you. The police in California, they rob you. They take your money, they take your phone, they take your weapons, and they just take them. And then when you get out of jail, you're just SOL. So I took my money and I took my knife and I hide it in my girl purse. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't hide my phone because it was just not gonna fit. It ain't that big. Right? So I hid my money and I hid my knife because when I get out of jail, I need something on me. So yeah, when they discovered I was uncuffed, they handcuffed me again, and I took them off again, and that time I scraped my skin off, and that's why I have a scar right there. Cause I needed to get my chapstick. I forgot my chapstick. Cause when you're in jail, they don't give you chapstick. And I don't know if the longest I've ever did was 15 days, and I need my chapstick. Cause if not, I break out in a rash. Like me, I need my medicated chapstick by chapstick. Like seriously. So yeah, whole ordeal. So I go to jail and I only end up getting 15 days. Now they want to charge me with assault and battery, a felony 3, but I know my rights. I know my rights. I remember writing a letter to my mother talking about if they charge me with a felony, because they gave me my paper telling me my charges, and I'm like, if they want to charge me with my first felony for assault and battery on an officer when there's no reason for his arrest. I got arrested for resisting arrest when there's no reason for the arrest. I remember I was raised by an officer, and he used to tell me ignorance of the law is no excuse. So I wrote that to my mother, and then they ended up dropping it down to a misdemeanor. So yeah, all the terrible things I've ever done in my life, and I don't have a felony. Hey, that's why I'm able to legally own a gun. Yeah, this episode's a little long. This episode's long. This is at the end though. We're like right at the end. So I only do 15 days for assault and battery on two armed officers. Technically, I didn't really beat them up, but I did some things, and it makes me feel good knowing I got assault and battery on my record. Because now when I get like the first couple years of after me being released from jail, every single time I got pulled over by an officer, they're like, like there was like red flag on their screen, and I was like considered extremely dangerous, and the way they treated me was like I was a mass murder criminal, and I would just be like, little old me, like, no, I just don't bow down to authority. Like, so funny. But yeah, I end up getting out of jail, and we all know from episode number 1, I end up turning my life over to God. Like a week later, I got out on Halloween, like a few hours before Halloween, and I hate Halloween. So I worked, got enough money for my hotel, and was just like, I am good for the night because I do not do Halloween. It is the devil's day. I am not effing with the devil. So I ended up getting out, stayed with, I met a trick. No, he wanted to be a trick, but I met a man at the laundromat, and he took me in. And then, what, 8 days later, November 8th, 2014, I gave my life to Jesus. Yeah, I know. I gave my life to Jesus. Yes, he's so wonderful and worthy to be praised. All right. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I'm just not. I'm just not. I got things to do. It's like 8:43 my time. I got to wash dishes and get ready for tomorrow. I get up at 4 a.m. because I have a whole nother broadcast on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook called Spiritual Soul Food. I know, right? I know, right? I go from pimping and whoring to preaching the word of God. Literally, I read my biblical devotions to everybody every single day, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I got to get up at 4 a.m. so I can be ready by 6 a.m. because I'm in middle of nowhere, Texas. So this is the end of episode, whatever number this is, of What's on Melody's Mind today. I haven't the slightest clue what I'm about to talk about to you guys next week, but I promise you the episode will be aired at a decent time because I'm not going to wait till the last minute to do it. I'm just trying to adjust to my new schedule of my husband coming home at 4 p.m. instead of 2 a.m. So just please have mercy on me. Just, I love you. You have a blessed and wonderful day. Until we meet again. Yay!